very good afternoon to you. Welcome to this edition of Lunchtime News here on MTV Sports with News First. I'm Shine Rangpati. Let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon. The obtaining of the fluency certificate on Sinhala and Tamil made mandatory for medical interns. 3 Chinese nationals arrested at the BIA for attempting to smuggle corals out of the country. South Korean workers crossed border despite the North's cut-off military hotline a day before. On to those stories in detail. The Election Secretariat says that the names and symbols of political parties which registrations were annulled will not be issued for new registrations for another 2 years.
Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapwe issuing a communique says the annulled registration of political parties should re-register with the Election Secretariat in order to obtain a name. The Elections Commissioner adds that this step was taken to pave way for the re-registration. Thereby, the names and symbols of 4 political parties cannot be obtained for another 2 years for the registration of new political parties. The political parties of which the names have been annulled are the Elam National Democratic Liberation Front, the Jatika Samagi Peramuna, the Vimukti Koti Janata Peramuna, and Eksat Jatika Vikalpa Peramuna. The symbols used by the aforementioned political parties were the cow, pigeon, tiger and the gate. The Election Secretariat added that the aforesaid symbols cannot be obtained for the registration of new political parties.
The Ministry of Health says that it is now mandatory for the medical interns to obtain the fluency certificate on Sinhala and Tamil languages. The program was implemented under the National Languages Policy. An event was held under the patronage of Minister of Health Maithripala Sirisena and Minister of National Languages and Social Integration Vasudeva Nanayakkara. According to Circular 7/2007, it is mandatory for interns in the health sector to obtain the fluency certificate on Tamil and Sinhala languages. We have begun a program to streamline the process in which certificates are issued. There is a need for translators in the state sector. There is a need to achieve reconciliation and improve communication between communities. The primary objective of this program is to create an environment where everyone can live in unity. We need to develop the country after defeating terrorism. The National Language Policy plays a pivotal role when achieving this objective. During the next 10 days, in-house training would be provided. The Secretary has instructed that the certificate should be produced before starting the medical internship. Also making headlines this afternoon, 3 Chinese nationals have been arrested at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake for attempting to smuggle corals out of the country. Customs said the suspects were to leave to Shanghai this morning. Investigations revealed that the corals, which are still alive, had been taken from the Hikkadwa coastal stretch. A customs officer told News First that the suspects claimed to have arrived in the island for construction work at the Mattala International Airport. Now, this is strictly prohibited under the Flora and Fauna Act. The airport customs added that the corals were confiscated and the Chinese nationals were released with a warning. A woman has been killed while her husband and child had sustained injuries in a motor accident which occurred in Kataragama early this morning.
Our area correspondent said the woman and her husband were taking their 2 children to school in a 3-wheeler when they met with the accident. The accident occurred when the 3-wheeler that was travelling towards the children's school collided with a lorry that was travelling in the opposite direction. The father and the 2 children who were injured in the accident have been admitted to the Deberavawa hospital. The victims of the accident are residents from the Detagamo area in Kataragama. The police said the driver was under the influence of alcohol when the accident occurred.
Meanwhile, railway services in the Kolathanna area in Bandarawela was hampered this morning as a result of a bus veering off the road onto the rail tracks. However, the Bandarawela Railway Superintendent Satish Kumara said that the railway services have now been restored. The bus had veered off the road onto the rail track due to a mechanical failure in the bus. According to the Nawalapitiya Railway Control Room, the Colombo-Badula night mail train was delayed as a result. The bus involved in the accident was attached to the Bandarawela bus depot. more local news, an individual was killed in a wild elephant attack in the fishing village of Hambegamur. The police media spokesperson's office said that another person who was a witness to the incident survived the attack. The incident occurred when the two persons were travelling on a motorbike. According to the police, the deceased has been identified as a 23-year-old individual. The National Transport Commission has taken steps to put into operation 750 new buses for the convenience of the general public in lieu of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Chairman of the Commission, Roshan Gunawardena, said that temporary route permits have been issued in this regard. He also reiterated that there is a possibility of buses being routed to factories for the assistance of employees working outstation.